Good morning. How are we all doing? It's actually the afternoon now, but we went live when it was the morning. We've been live for 11 minutes. It's only 5 minutes past, so therefore it's the morning-ish. Anyway, how are we all doing? Welcome in to twitch.tv/iScreamUploads. My name is Green D. And this is my first scoop of the week, even though we are on the second day of the week. Mr. Bib, you had a scoop yesterday. I'm going to jump into the big Bib screen purely so you can tell us about yesterday's scoop, and not so I can finish on posting the Instagram post that we just shared, the post that I screen uploads. I'm going to share it on my own social media, which other people can do as well. But anyway, Bib, tell us how it went yesterday.
Yesterday, big news. There was obviously leading up to the fact that Halo could potentially have been dropping yesterday. Lo and behold, it did yesterday evening, shall we say, during the 20th anniversary show over celebrating all things Xbox. So yeah, that was nice. That's actually one of our best videos that we've done on YouTube. Again, I've mentioned this before. Having a UK video game podcast is all well and good, apart from the fact that all the news breaks in the evening, whereas we do this in the morning because everything seems to happen in America. So we get yesterday's news in the morning the following day, if that makes any sense. We get the news basically 12 hours later. When we were able to put this into a video format for you guys to be able to digest on the go. So it's very rare that we actually get breaking news, and it's very rare that we actually get something where the rumor mill is in full force, and then lo and behold, it actually comes true. So that's actually one of our best videos that we did. People was obviously just frantically searching for as much Halo news as they could possibly get, and lo and behold, my mug's on their screen.
Hello.
Hello, hi, it is, baby. So yeah, it's we're definitely leaning into that again today with the title of this one being a Halo show again. Don't worry about that. If it works once, it's gonna fucking work again. If it doesn't work, we'll carry on continuing to make it work.
No, basically, if it doesn't work, then we delete Halo from all of our content ever again. So basically, if you're not watching this on Twitch and YouTube and all the other platforms at once, then yeah, Halo's dead to us. So get involved. Next Gen Base! Stay frosty, yeah. Although I'm going to play that again because that came through just as I hit the screen transition, so it was kind of drowned out by the screen transition. So let me give you your time to shine.
Stay frosty, yeah.
Stay frosty, yeah. Thank you very much for 5 whole months, you beautiful, beautiful guy. Good morning, good morning. If anyone wants to type anything in the chat, then you can do. Just don't type any commands because chatbot's not alive. But if you wanted to, in a couple of seconds, type exclamation mark 3D or something in the chat, then you could bag yourself something like this. Yeah, achievement unlocked. Oh, Steve. Oh, I might get my face out of the way. No. Stay frosty. There we go. There. So that is made by the beautiful people at NGB. Check out that by typing exclamation mark 3D. There we go. Ads dropping it. Nice. As well as that, if you crap at playing games and you can't achieve platinum trophies very often, like me, then you can get your own in real life. Yeah. Plus other things. Do check it out. Exclamation mark 3D. Nice. But yeah, Ben, thank you very much for the 5 months, yo.
Hero. Thank you.
Bibby's had a room upgrade. He has. The thing is, as well, if I jump into the split screen, it will probably say... Oh, no, it says ICU Studio. Okay, I was going to say, it usually would say Graham's home and Bibby's home, but obviously I've changed it because the last time we streamed together, it must have been in the studio, so they're fine. Nice.
Yeah.
Let me jump in the chat and see who is with us this morning. T-do. Good after morning. We went live before 12, it counts. Good after... Do you know after morning? That's what we'll call it, yes. Good after morning. Good morning, sorry afternoon, gents. Good morning, sorry afternoon, Gagad. How are we doing? Tastes bad. Hey. Let's goes. The issues, guys. Nietzsche. Well, hello there. Well, hello there.
Oh God.
What?
What do you think is on the other side of the show?
It's Lee. It's Lee.
So he's celebrating. He's celebrating Halo by teabagging.
So yeah, just in front of Bibby, you can't quite see it. Just in front of Bibby, there is 3 screens, which are the middle one is usually the gameplay or his laptop feed. The left one is a stream preview. The right one is chat. But then just to the right of the right screen is a door to go through to another part of the studio, which has glass in it, which is fine if you don't have special colleagues. Yeah, if you don't have Lee. So yeah, we have a Lee. Sorry, unfortunately. Anyway, good after morning, Nietzsche. Lotus is moisture. Good day, sir. Good day,
Boys.
sir. How did you start the new job yesterday? How did it go? What we saying? I mean, I did ask you on Discord, but you ignore me on Discord now. So whatever. Although you might have responded. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll leave that. Bacon Chin says afternoon. Mr. Bacon Chin, I did chase. Actually, let me check. See if they've responded. I've submitted a ticket with Gamers Apparel just to see what the crack is with your shirt. Let me see if they responded. Morning. Apologies for the. Okay, let me read you this out as we go. Apologies for the delay in updating that order. Should have tracking added to it today as it was quality checked yesterday. They have had some internal disruptions, but everything should be starting to speed up. So you should have it. Nice. Should be good.
Yeah.
Pictures. Obviously, we need the pictures. Nice. Been off the Twitch train due to work, but lunchtime in it. Thank you very much for dropping in the lunchtime. See, so that we're gonna have to make the 10 a.m. ish be a 12 a.m. ish, 12 noonish. So not a.m. because that would be fucking tiring, but 12 noonish. Good morning, quite literally for the scoop. But yeah, we'll do that so everyone can drop in the lunchtimes. Nice. Mrs. Bibby dropping the look. Hey, how you doing?
She knows what she's doing now. She was like, why do people keep on typing lurk? What does that mean? So I'll give her the old education. She's like, oh, yeah, I'll come and do that then.
We appreciate it.
Love you, babe.
Appreciate it. I almost died. Do you know when you like try to have a swig of coffee? Did you hear me go on the coffee? Because
yeah.
I expected my
I heard the cup go down more than anything. It's like just slammed it on the desk. But I'm going for the same thing. This is fucking red hot, and I really want to drink of it because it's freezing.
It wasn't even hot. It was. So it was just a normal cup. But do you know when you expect the cup to be lower than it is? So you're pretty much breathing still at that point in time rather than drinking. I just inhaled fucking coffee. Well, join in for the scoop. That's a GTA Trilogy edition as well on screen. This is all going well. I'll talk about off-screen Prescott. Nice. Okay, nice. How was your trip to London? It was okay, although London was kind of brief. It was a very interesting day though, because so obviously for those that know or don't know, we work with a lot of brands within the gaming industry. One of those is Konami. So I went to see Konami HQ yesterday. First time we speak to them all the time, but it's the first time being there physically in about 2 years because obviously. So we go down through Euston and then out to Windsor. And first time seeing them face to face, obviously a million and one Zoom calls later, but first time seeing them face to face for a while. So I was like asking Danielle yesterday morning, do I wear my nice brown winter coat, which is a nice formal coat, very nice, or do I just go for the jacket? And we both kind of went, nah, let's go for the brown coat. Look smart, looks suave, nice. And went to Euston. Stood like waiting around for Mark and Luke, two of the other ice cream / jelly media posse, to roll deep into Euston, and went to the toilet. Coming out of the toilet, some guy, like, do you know when you can't make eye contact with someone you out of the toilet? Some guy like made eye contact with us. So I just smiled and carried on walking. And then a couple of seconds later, like in the centre of Euston Station, he came up to me and started talking to me, and he was like, "Oh, that's a nice coat. How long are you down here for? Where are you going? What are you doing? What do you do in the industry?" And I'm thinking, I can't tell if this guy's hitting on me or what. So I was like, I just need to go and get some donuts. Bye. So anyway, long story short, suave coat is good because you get hit on in the Euston Station. So beautiful. Just make.
How am I just saying about this?
It's only because I got back at like 10:30 last night. I told you, but yeah, Daniel, like literally, where the fuck I put my phone? I text Danielle saying, so the winter jacket was definitely the right choice. Some guy hitting on me, asking me where I got my jacket from. Drop a link to the coat chat. It might not even still be around. It was a Zara coat. It was like a brown peacoat-ish Zara brown coat. Do you know what? I'll have a picture. When we're chatting, I will find a picture because I've definitely worn it. I've worn it a few times. Oh, there it is. Actually, that's it. Let's visit Zara man beige coat. I don't know if that's actually gonna. Oh no, that's just brought up a fucking page of coats. That's not the one. God, this is not going well. Copy image address. There we go. That'll do. Okay, this is the actual image. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but that was the actual image. So I was wearing that coat, and yeah, I got hit on in Euston Station, which was fun times. It's all good, man. Thank you so much for the update. The internal problem was based around trying to figure out what the name means. Yes, okay. So bacon can like if you eat it in like large amounts can lead to chin. So is this in reference to that? But we got there eventually. That's some Blade Runner shit. It's good. It's good. So you just wear that with a nice scarf. Have it open. You look like futuristic suave badass. It's good. No accounting for style. Shut up. Very nice quote. SL. Too old. Sex. No, too old for that too. And live Manchester-ish. Love bacon. Everyone loves some bacon. Anyway, so yeah, yesterday, Bib.
Yes.
What was the big story?
So the big story of the day, there was obviously quite a few of them, but our leading story of the day was the fact that data miners had been able to decode some stuff in the back end of whatever it was that they managed to get it out of, and found the code relating to the 15th of the 11th, which they then in turn thought that may have been a hot drop of the game, considering it was going to be the 20th anniversary stream of all things Xbox. Obviously, yesterday was an Xbox news heavy day, as you would expect, considering it was a celebration. It was close to as big as a conference as they possibly could have done. I mean, we did have the massive one at Gamescom this year that was fantastic, and then we had the one maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that was a bit of a letdown. But this one felt like it come out on all forces. Obviously, we will have some more other news stories that go around that as well. But obviously, the biggest thing was the fact that Halo Infinite multiplayer did drop yesterday, and that was kind of leading all up to that, really.
Well, jumping off point, it's exactly more of the same. Halo Infinite multiplayer arrives a month early. Is that the one? Just making sure.
Yes.
Sure. Nice. So that is written by Shaun Murray at The Gamer. That is where we will kick things off today, and it's been an exceptionally well received Halo Infinite multiplayer. Obviously, we kind of knew it was coming yesterday. We assumed it might be coming. It was all rumors. It has been confirmed. Halo Infinite multiplayer is here now. Then we will kick off a very Xbox focused stream, as Tito will no doubt enjoy. We'll then jump away from Halo into our second story of the day, which gets Bibby. I don't know. Does this get you excited? We'll have to figure it out as we go. As Elder Scrolls 6, which gets Bibby excited, will release for Xbox and PC only. Interesting. There is no release for PS5 potentially. We'll then jump on into more Xbox stories. Xbox Game Pass is very, very sustainable right now, says Xbox person. Of course it is. And then Xbox has announced over 70 new backward compatible games. And then, moving away from Xbox a little bit, for one final article, NVIDIA GeForce Now has been quietly capping its founders' frame rates. So Xbox smashing it, NVIDIA GeForce Now capping it, PlayStation just not there, mate. What are we saying? Bethesda lied. Fuck Bethesda, says Ads. It's just one of those things.
I think lied is a bit of a harsh word to use for something that's kind of out of their control, but I'll have my thoughts and opinions on that one soon.
You're not allowed your thoughts and opinions because this is not the UK's #1 video game podcast. Speaking of which, I didn't even go through the introduction. So, you know what stories we're going to be talking about, but let me give you an intro as to what this show is. My name is Graham, and joined by Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. For the next hour or so, we will be going through the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We'll give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories. We want your thoughts and impressions on those stories. We then want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how this works. Please do feel free to get involved. We go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. Ish. We have an exclusive subscriber emote, though, by the way, that's animated and everything, that gives us the caveat of allowing to go live ish. So we aim for 10 a.m, but we start at 10 a.m. ish because we work in the video games industry, and the video games industry work comes first. The scoops, the streams do still happen around that. We stream 7 days a week. every one of them with an ish. But yes, it's not just about the streams, though. We turn the live streams into podcasts. Every Scoop stream we do ends up on a video on YouTube and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. So if you're in the streams, please do feel free to get involved. Before we jump into the news, though, quick reminders. ! Loot drop. We are giving prizes away to subscribers. One prize, one subscriber. Although this month, it will be more than one prize. We did tease the other day that we're going to throw in one of the Ice Cream Uploads baseball caps. It could be either a blackout cap with a flat peak, like Bibby's rocking right there. It could be a blackout cap with a curved peak, like this one, just here. Or it could be a blue and white Dodgers style Ice Cream Uploads hat with a curved peak. You get to choose. Whoever wins next month's loot drop will bag themselves an Ice Cream Uploads super rare piece of merchandise. Literally, there's only 15 Ice Cream Uploads hats in the world right now. We will be making more, but someone will get one before we do the print run for more merch. As well as that, there will be other prizes in the loot drop. So if you want to get involved with next month's loot drop, make sure that you are a subscriber on, was it the 6th? It is 6th of December.
Yeah.
So anyone that subscribes now until the 6th of December will be in the loot drop. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. You love to see it. As well as that, do you know what else we love to see? ! Insert coin merch. Bibby, a little bird tells me
Yes,
that you may have had a special delivery yesterday.
I did. Some might call it a hot drop. I got two. Do I tell people what they are? Do we wait for the pictures?
I think we wait for the pictures.
I think we should wait for the pictures.
I
Yeah,
mean-
I got two brand new items, fresh from the press over at Insert Coin. Absolute legends over there. That's hooked us up. Have you got anything yet?
I may have.
Ooh.
Mine
Hello.
may have arrived while I was in London, and I opened them last night. And do you know what? I've got some items. We will show those off as well at the same time. We'll get all the pictures together of our fresh new Insert Coin merch, and we will share that on social media. So make sure if you want to see what those pictures are, ! Socials in the chat will give you a link to all the social media channels. We'll post them on Instagram as well as Twitter, and then obviously within the Discord too. So don't feel free to check us out over there. Nice and nice. Where did we get to? Next Gen Base says, we'll save thoughts until the segment, but anyone angry about the Elder Scrolls 6 news needs to take a look at themselves, says Next Gen Base. Fucking shit, mate. It's fucking shit, mate. Okay. Nietzsche says, this is normally the point I drop subs. Not this month. I'm after that cap. Rather than rocking our shit.
Well, you can actually buy your own at some point in the near future. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to be able to drop in down the subs and then buy your cap later. I mean, that's entirely up to you. I'm not forcing you to do that at all. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying.
In before, Nietzsche 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12 all subscribe to the channel separately. Just saying. Just increase those odds. Nietzsche sat there like now going, what the fuck did I think of it?
Absolutely.
But that's enough of that. We will be getting more hats printed. It's probably going to be in the new year. But for now, one person will get their hands on the hat whilst it's still an exclusive property. In the meantime, though, Bib, have you played the Halo Infinite multiplayer?
I have not yet. No. I don't know if anyone knows. I don't actually know if I mentioned this on stream yesterday, but I have actually got myself a brand new phone. My contract was due up, so I went into EE. They had an offer on the upgrades, considering mine was up soon. By the 25th of November, the offer expires. If I got a new phone, then I will get a free Xbox Series S, which, coincidentally enough, I'm actually paying less than my old contract, and I'm getting an Xbox Series S. So I'm waiting for that to arrive. It said the woman in the shop said it was 7 days. On the website, it said between 15 and 30. So Christ knows it'll be here within the next month or so, I imagine. But I think I'm going to wait. There isn't that many issues that I can see around on Halo at this moment in time, but Graham, I am super excited about Halo itself. I love Halo. I'm not an avid super fan. I am definitely more of fall into the category of casual. But Halo's Halo. I think it's definitely one of the best FPS games that has ever been. I think it's laid the foundation for a lot of FPSs. So the fact that it's out now and kind of hot dropped, then that's cool.
I'm absolutely not forwarding on a story on WhatsApp to Mark, who's just messaged me. Nice. Nietzsche, in response to that, says, Graham, you've just got an Xbox, haven't you? It's the same picture that I sent to you yesterday, baby. No,
Okay.
no, I haven't. Let's not talk about that anymore.
I told you it was the loafers. It was the loafers, man. Everyone's getting caught out.
Do you know it's funny? Because I sent it to you, I sent it to Nietzsche, I sent it to West, and everyone said the same thing. I was like, it's funny how people see the Anyway, do you know what? It's a different conversation. When are we getting an ICU team up stream on Halo, says Tito. I mean, yeah, but we only do that for good games and good platforms, Tito. Sorry. So I only say that because Tito said, where was it? Was it after Spider-Man, The Last of Us, Uncharted, and all the others? Now Sony fans know how we feel. Where did we get to? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll jump into the story then so we can continue the conversations. This is the lead story of the day, and this was the lead story of the world, or at least the world of video games yesterday. Shaun Murray at The Gamer has confirmation that the Halo Infinite multiplayer arrives a month early. Halo celebrates 20 years with a surprise launch for Halo Infinite's multiplayer. Halo Infinite's multiplayer has arrived a month ahead of schedule. Xbox made the announcement during today's 20th anniversary stream, celebrating 20 years of Xbox. And because Halo was Xbox's original launch title, it's also Halo's 20th birthday. What better way to celebrate than killing Spartans in Xbox's flagship franchise? The launch wasn't a complete surprise, as Halo Infinite's multiplayer launch was leaked just a few days ago. A Halo insider claimed that the multiplayer component would arrive on November the 15th to coincide with the 20th anniversary celebration, and this was further confirmed by a data mine of the Xbox store. A new rumour of an 11th hour delay appears to have been a red herring, as players can enjoy Halo Infinite's free-to-play multiplayer starting today, which was yesterday, obviously. Fans have been mostly positive about Halo Infinite's multiplayer betas. The new grapple shot feels like a worthy addition to Halo's fast-paced gameplay, while the new weapons also feel like they have a unique place in Halo's multiplayer arsenal. Multiplayer will be free to play, but players can opt to purchase the paid battle pass for just $10 to earn unique rewards. That's not all. Microsoft announced during today's live stream Xbox's backwards compatibility is expanding to to include over 70 classic games, which we'll jump on later on. And there's even a new documentary of Xbox's early years set to release next month. Whew. Exciting times for Halo fans. Has anyone checked in or seen anything from Enix in the last 24 hours? Because I haven't seen.
Conveniently, it's been really quiet.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen a sniff. Hopefully, it's because he's sat in game and not in a puddle of his own desires. Because Halo Infinite multiplayer is something that Enix is. He has a Master Chief tattoo. It's one of the most defining games in FPS for Enix, and we haven't seen him since. So hopefully he's enjoying life. But it seems like most people are. Have you seen any of it? And obviously you've not played it. Have you seen any of the Infinite gameplay? What are your thoughts so far, babe?
So last night, I logged on to my PC onto Twitch, and I was watching Kind of Funny play it. I was watching Andy and Snowbite Mike going through it. That's the first time I'd actually seen it in action. I thought it looked fantastic. And then this morning, obviously, I woke up. MC Fixer goes live. I go and watch him. He's playing it again. It looks great. I was looking forward to watching Lee get his ass handed to him upstairs on dinner while he plays through that. But yeah, this looks more Halo. And you can't really argue with that because Halo's Halo. If playing the campaign is fantastic. If you go and play into the multiplayer, if you're half decent, you'll have a really, really good time. If you're not that good at FPS games, you probably won't enjoy it that much. But Halo's Halo, man. It looks fantastic. Again, I can't wait to be able to get involved and get it played. What I will say, though, is obviously we was part of the problem yesterday, and we did give people notice that this is potentially going to be something that is going to be hot dropped during the conference. Is there anything in this world nowadays that can't be spoiled by spoilers?
Me doing this dance. Because Strikey has just raided with a party of 3. Thank you very much, Strikey. How are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid. I'm assuming PUBG, right? Is there anything that can't be ruined by spoilers? Was the question?
You know what? I know it sounds very open ended, and it is a bit of a shit question, but you get the vibe.
Yeah, I get it. So if something as big as Xbox's prized possession, their golden goose, their cash cow, if that can't even go without being leaked. Is there anything? I think the issue is the amount of moving parts in something like a Halo. I mean, Halo dropping out of somewhere without ever being mentioned, fine. Halo dropping out of somewhere when everyone's kind of getting used to it and on big anniversaries and things like that, that is difficult to hide. So it's a shame that this was leaked. Naturally, we were going to pick it up because obviously everyone else is talking about it journalistically. It was already out there the night before Bibby was speaking about it on stream yesterday. So we'd already heard people talking about it. People knew. So all we did was just add to an already existing conversation.
Yeah.
It is such a shame, though, because everything, it just sounds so magical. Halo, 20th anniversary, the 20th birthday of not only the Xbox console, which is a franchise that spanned off numerous generations of hardware, thousands of pieces of software, millions or billions of downloads, cajillions, that's not a number, but it is now, of hours played, relationships that have spanned digital worlds and then spread into physical worlds. I mean, it's such a magical thing, and then having it spoiled because someone shared the news early to get the clicks. It's just nature of the beast of the world. So it is a shame to see it being leaked. That said, it's even more of a shame when something that's something so monumental then gets leaked and then doesn't live up to what it was supposed to be. What do you guys think in the chat? Because all I've seen is positivity around this. Even last night, so I tend to watch a lot of PUBG community guys through the day, so I'll jump in. I was in West stream earlier on. Ditchy, Franny Mac, Hamish. A lot of you guys will probably see that they jump into our streams or into our chat as well. So obviously, naturally, you operate in your own sort of circles. In an evening when I'm not at a keyboard, so not able to interact as much, and I'm watching on TV, then that's when I'll watch like larger streamers, like the likes of Choco Taco, TSM Vis, and things like that. When they play PUBG, don't tend to watch if they play Apex and stuff. Anyway, they were all naturally playing Halo yesterday. And you could tell from them, every one of them, even though they were getting shit on by other players because it wasn't their main game, not all the time, they were pretty decent, but you could tell that they were enjoying it. The game was solid, really well made. The grapple stuff looked decent. And they were talking about, like, ledge grabbing in Halo feels weird, but it's 100% exactly what them are the little things that never used to be in Halo that should be in Halo for Halo to be a 2021 game, not a 2011 game kind of thing. So overall, from what I've seen, non-hands on myself, it looks good. It looks good. Is that kind of
I've got an even bigger question? Yeah, again, I was watching Dr. Disrespect again yesterday, playing it as well after just as I was getting into bed, and he looked like he was having a good time with Zelena and Courage. So again, it's the best of both worlds for Microsoft at this point, isn't it? Like, it's a shame that they didn't manage to get the mic drop moment of, and it's live right now, and then everyone frantically going to download this game. Obviously, everyone had the opportunity. They were just waiting for them to say it's available. Now, they already knew that it was coming, rather than it just being and little did you know, it's on its way and it's right now. Again, it's a massive shame that things like that don't exactly work out the way that it should. I mentioned yesterday that if it does happen, there'll be a lot of people who can't play it at that moment in time because, like, I wouldn't have been able to play it at that time. I would have had to wait a couple of hours for it to download, depending on the file size and things like that. But they had some of the biggest influencers in the world playing that game over on YouTube, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. All of these massive influencers were all playing this game at the same time yesterday. So that is a massive dub for Microsoft, who have just been riding the back of Forza Horizon 5, which was getting 9s and 10s across the board. Now this is coming out. When reviews start to hit of this, imagine people will want to be able to spend 1 or 2 days with it before actually writing the final thoughts down rather than the first impressions. I imagine this is going to feel the exact same. They may reserve the campaign stuff for another review later down the line, on the 8th of December, I think it is. It might be. It's the day before or the day after my birthday. I can't remember. But yeah, they're probably going to reserve a different review for the campaign as and when that drops. But for all intents and purposes, this looks like an incredible release from Microsoft. Again, 2 dubs back to back within the space of a month. I don't think Microsoft have done this well for a long time, having back-to-back games like this drop and be well received. I mean, take a look at what's happening over the road at the moment, not with PlayStation, but in terms of Rockstar. They've released a trilogy of games that was beloved by pretty much everybody, and it is now the worst reviewed game of all time, sitting at 0.5 because it's that broken. Like,
It's amazing to see
can
that as
Microsoft
well.
do anything wrong?
Like, because, like, to use the word that Next Gen Base has had in the chat already, nuanced is the conversation around GTA, because a lot of people are playing it and absolutely love that, because those games coming out and being a bit prettier is all that some people need at all. But then again, because there's a lot when you dig past that, it's amazing how it can be exactly what some people need and exactly what some people would not want to see. It's amazing how it exists in both realms at that, which I don't think I've ever seen something so polarizing. The full-on Marmite effect, although Marmite you kind of feel is like 50-50, whereas that's probably a bit more like 90-10. But the 90 despise it, and the 10, or even 99.5 despise it, whereas the 0.5 absolutely love it, kind of thing. So yeah, it's interesting. Good morning, Mr. Gaming Nacho. GTA was 100% made with an AI human did not touch that. With AI, a human did not touch that. It's one of those like, we got an AI to write a script for a new horror film. We got an AI to remaster a video game.
Yeah. I mentioned this yesterday. It literally looks like someone just copied and pasted it into Unreal Engine. I think that's the engine that they've used for it. And they've just updated some of the stuff as they've gone along. It becomes a point where millions of people are going to be playing this. They could have 50 play testers play any of the GTA games that we're releasing as part of the trilogy, and they never would have been able to find half of what everyone else is going to be finding. It's very difficult to be able to test everything, and people will find it. If it's there available, no one will play that game the same way twice. So if someone goes and just does all the mainline missions, I might not be going and collecting whatever the collectible is for that particular game. They probably won't see some of the glitches that happen in there. So if you want people to play test your game, if you want to find out how well your game is playing, get people to play it, get the millions of people to go in and be able to play it, and they will find something that you never even knew was there.
I think the interesting thing as well is the fact that there was so many mods that were getting kiboshed as a result of these games coming, which is like, okay, they're kiboshing these because they've got their own quality product, and this is Rockstar. Rockstar does not miss. And then it was like, okay, you took away all the good stuff and you've missed. There's bugs and there's issues and there's errors and there's tracks missing, and so a lot of it is unavoidable. The licensing of music and tracks, that's heartbreaking, and it gets rid of a lot of what particularly Vice City was, and for a lot of people, obviously San Andreas. Less so much with GTA 3, but the music and the vibes, they are the emotion. How many times could you just be sat in your car and you'll hear a track that takes you back to being 12 years old and at a party, or 15 with your mates kind of thing, or 23 and whatever. Songs take you to places, and those being there is a shame, but that's licensing. But anything beyond that is that's something. And like, did you cover it? I haven't obviously seen yesterday's show back yet, but did you cover the hot coffee bit within yesterday's content? Did you have a GTA story in yesterday?
Yeah, I didn't mention it. I think I mentioned that as well as something else as well. Pieces of code that was left in. That was I don't know if it was intentional way back when, but stuff that they could have easily got rid of this time that they just left in, which makes you think that it is just a copy and paste job and someone's just gone in and touched the textures up.
Yeah,
I don't believe for a second that someone's put the TLC throughout this entire game. They left the music files in. Games that the titles that was expired and they couldn't use, they still left it in there.
They've just gone, oh, by the way, these don't exist, but it's like they actually do. It's kind of like old school, like Pez. I remember like David Beckham going to like PSG, and this was like on loan from Galaxy kind of thing. When he was at Galaxy, David Beckham's face disappeared out of Pez. So you could make David Beckham, but using the in-game face edit. And then when he came back to PSG, David Beckham's face was there. It's like, oh, they've just put it back in the game. And it was like modders realized, actually, those files, once someone's face had been made, it was in there. It was just tucked away in a don't use these sort of folder. Yeah. And that's fine because he can come transferring back out. But that's a song that's not licensed that people can't use and people are gutted for not having, but it's still in there. Just what? But so the hot coffee bit was the interesting one for me, because that one, like, none of it has kind of stunk like laziness to me, apart from that one, because that one was tectonic back in the day. That GTA hot hot coffee. Had like there was all sorts of legal ramifications, court cases. I believe, and I could be wrong. If anyone's got any better numbers than me, I believe it was $20 million they had to pay in fines or some legal settlement or something off the back
took
of
off shelves for it, didn't it?
yeah, reclassified in certain countries and things like that. It was huge, and for that to just be in there is like a oh shit yeah, and it's like what literally how what. But yeah.
There would have been a do not do list, and that surely would have been at the top of it, as well as don't use these music license. But fuck it, we'll leave them both in and then see what happens. If people find it, people find it. And again, if it's there, people will find it. We've seen Pez modders that are able to make entire cutscenes out of code that's been left in the game and be able to make it look completely different. If it's there, people are going to find it. And especially when it's just cost you a stupid amount of money 20 years ago, you'd think maybe someone might want to be able to just go, right, before you press the button to go live, are you absolutely sure that the music that we have not allowed to use in any way, shape, or form, we have not bought this rights to this music, are you sure that it's not in the source code? It's not going to play in any of the tracks, not going to play in any of the cars. All the title music, everything's been bought for, apart from these tracks. Are you sure that they are not in there?
Are you
Yes,
sure
boss.
that this game doesn't include the interactive pornography that got us fined 20 million? Are you sure that you've removed interactive pornography from the game? Yes, boss. What? I mean, this is a good one. I've not seen this one from Next Gen Base. Just posted this in the chat saying, look at that shit. That's got to have been some sort of AI upscaling gone wrong. I mean, I didn't see it at first. Let me set the discussing now off screen. I didn't see it at first. I thought Tough Nuts Donuts shop, top and bottom. Top is obviously old. The bottom is the definitive edition. Is that what it's called? The remaster.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, nice donut. But then you see the Tough Nuts, and it's like they've got a robot that's gone across and smoothed everything out, and the hex nuts are now circles. What?
It's a washer now.
Yeah,
It's not a nut, it's a washer.
So yeah, yeah, it's such a shame. Something that was so significant for a lot of people to have been like. Naturally, a lot of people have enjoyed it, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. For a lot of people, they're not bothered about the minutiae of those sort of details. But a lot of people are, because you are playing with someone's memories, so naturally it has some big hits. Anyway, speaking about playing with memories, Halo Infinite multiplayer has a lot of memories for a lot of people, so naturally it was going to be a success. Surely it was always going to get a lot of players playing it. But this tweet that I quote tweeted yesterday from, I always say Z Huge X, although I know it's not pronounced that. But I only say Z Huge X because that's how it's written. Capital Z, lowercase huge, capital EX. But there's a way of pronouncing it, something like Juge or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. If anyone can let me know, feel free to let me know in the chat. However, that is Daniel Ahmad, industry analyst. He gets featured across all of the news articles. Whenever someone's looking at industry analysis, I think he's like Nico Partners or something. Does it say on his profile? It's just loading me a black box. Doesn't actually have any content in it. Great. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this is what he shared yesterday about the Halo Infinite multiplayer. Halo Infinite multiplayer, which launched, looks at watch, about 2.5 hours ago, has already surpassed 162,000 peak concurrent users on Steam. This makes it the most successful Xbox Game Studios title of all time on Steam. So Halo Master Chief Collection hit 161 peak concurrent users. That was the previous one. In all time, at its best possible point, hit 161. Forza Horizon 5, which came out last week and has been universally applauded for being an exceptional game, 81,000. Within 2.5 hours, Halo Infinite multiplayer doubled what Forza Horizon 5 got. And that's probably got even bigger. That's just yesterday evening, 9 p.m.
I'm trying to find an update on that, because I swear to God I've seen something this morning that said they hit 232.
Which is ridiculous. 2.5 hours to more than double what Forza got the week before and to pass the highest game that you've ever had. 2.5 hours. People are still downloading it. People don't even realise they can download it. To have 160... I mean, I'd be about 4% in with my Sky in there at that point in time. But 2.5 hours to pass your peak record is massive. Massive.
Yeah. In certain areas of the world, people will still be in work or just getting up for work by the time they come back in and able people. I'd like to have seen that. I swear to God, I've seen something this morning. I'm sure it said 2:32. I'm trying to find the tweet for it now. I probably won't now because there's been so much of it because it's trending. I probably won't be able to find it again. I don't know who tweeted it. But yeah, 232,000 concurrent players. Outrageous.
Big things. Big things. That's huge. Huge. Anyway, let's move ahead. We have been live for quite a while, and we still have quite a lot of news to go through. So let's jump into the next article. One that Bibby has thoughts and impressions on, as well as you guys in the chat. And it is this, written by Shaun Prescott, a PC gamer. Elder Scrolls 6 will release for Xbox and PC only. One of the most anticipated games on the horizon won't release for PS5. So ever since Microsoft's ZeniMax media acquisition, the question of whether The Elder Scrolls 6 will be an Xbox platform exclusive has haunted PS5 owners. Starfield will be an Xbox exclusive, much to the chagrin of PlayStation owners. But surely good guy Phil Spencer wouldn't deprive a massive, healthy platform of one of the most anticipated games of all time? Well, that's exactly what Microsoft is going to do. That's according to a new interview with the Xbox boss at GQ. You can always tell when I slow down to say that. Xbox boss at GQ, which makes it plain as day that Elder Scrolls 6 will act as a kind of cudgel against Sony's console market dominance. Of course, Spencer doesn't phrase it that way. Quote, "It's not about punishing any other platform. Like, I fundamentally believe all of the platforms can continue to grow," he said. "But in order to be on Xbox, all I want us to be able to bring I want us to be able to bring the full, complete package of what we have, and that would be true when I think about Elder Scrolls 6. That would be true when I think about any of our franchises," end quote. PC players need not fret. Microsoft releases all of its first-party games on PC day one nowadays, so short of an unexpected about-face, The Elder Scrolls 6 is definitely coming to our platform. Obviously, this is written by PC Gamer. It makes a lot of business sense, but it's still exquisitely brutal move. It's still an exquisitely brutal move. There we go. Skyrim players got last week's Anniversary Edition on PlayStation. Mojang continues to update Minecraft on PlayStation, and both Fallout 76 and The Elder Scrolls Online will continue to be expanded on Sony platforms. A few lingering exclusivity deals signed between Bethesda and Sony ahead of the acquisition are still playing out too, in the form of Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. The interview coincides with Microsoft's 20th anniversary. Yeah, we get that. We've already talked about the 20th anniversary stuff. But in short, it looks like The Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming to PlayStation. Bibby's now got an Xbox Series S, so he doesn't care anymore. But before that...
next.
Before that, Bib, I'm going to answer your next question with a yes. The question is, are you excited about Elder Scrolls 6? Yes. Okay, nice. What about it only being Xbox and PC exclusive? Did you expect that? Obviously, the early conversations, which were never confirmed, were that we're not here to stop people enjoying Xbox games. But now it seems like maybe they are. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's a difficult situation that I think they're in. They need it. If they didn't buy Bethesda and ZeniMax for no reason. They needed to be able to try and get ahead with some things. Now, as someone who already had a PlayStation 5 and as someone who was already enjoying the games on Game Pass via a PC, me getting an Xbox has made no difference to that whatsoever. It just means that now I can play my Game Pass games as there was intended for console. I can't play the big Xbox Game Pass games on Ultra or very high on my PC anymore. It's just not possible. I bought it for a Game Pass machine so I can play these games. So this coming to Game Pass isn't going to affect me in any way, shape, or form. So I will say, hand on heart, that I do love games for everyone, games that will be available on everything. But that is not the world that we live in when it comes to video games. We live in a world where first parties are the reason for you to be able to buy a console. There is the reason why Tito has not been able to go and play The Last of Us. There's a reason he's not been able to play God of War.
Because he's an inferior gamer. I mean, no, sorry.
So it wouldn't be fair for me to say this is an outrage. They should not be doing this. What doesn't make sense to me, though, is the fact that they are in second place. They need to try and get as much money as possible. If Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be coming out on Game Pass, where are they going to get the money for that? Because I certainly won't be paying for it if it's on Game Pass. I will just install it on my console and never have to pay for it.
Yeah,
So
but
them getting my £8 a month, well, again, we'll probably get onto the Game Passes in a good place stuff in the next article or later down the line. But £8 compared to £65 that they would have been getting from PlayStation users, it feels like it's lost money for them.
yeah,
But
but Game
obviously,
Pass is sustainable, as we will find out in the next news story. It's sustainable.
Yeah.
How? It just is. Nice.
Yeah.
Um,
So it feels weird that it's not going to be coming to PlayStation, because I feel like that's an easy money maker for them. It doesn't mean to say that it's not going to be a timed exclusive and we'll get it on Xbox for a year before it comes out on the PlayStation 5 or whatever. But then again, would it? I'm just thinking now. I'm having the conversation with myself in my head. If I didn't have a PlayStation 5 and Skyrim Next Gen was coming out on PlayStation 5, that would be a system seller for me. If I didn't have an Xbox or a PC that is able to play Game Pass games, would that make me go out and buy a console? And I genuinely think it would. If an Elder Scrolls 6 was coming out, I think that would be a system seller for me. So are they hoping that people who are on the PlayStation side of things or just play their games on PC that don't subscribe to Game Pass, are they expecting them to either sign up to Game Pass or go and buy a console to then sign up to Game Pass, or just buy it outright? Are they hoping that people will come over and do that? Because I think that's a very small market for them to be able to do that. It's a tough conversation to have, I think.
Yeah. We definitely don't all agree in the chat. Jumping back through then. Next Gen Base says, cracks knuckles. Here we go. So this sucks for PlayStation owners who are Elder Scrolls fans, but you don't spend $7 billion and share everything with everyone. Let me stop for just a second, actually. Speaking about sharing everything with everyone, I'd share everything with David, aka Fatman Dave 8472 in the chat growing up, because he's my brother. It's also his birthday, so can we get some happy birthdays in the chat for David?
Hey, happy birthday, mate.
Hey. So, yeah, jumping back in, the first difference between Last of Us, etc. And actually, so this sucks for PlayStation owners who are Elder Scrolls fans, but you don't spend $7 billion and share everything with everyone. That's a good point. That is a good point. Xbox have bought Bethesda and ZeniMax Media because they want to strengthen their stable. They want to build out their roster. You can't do that if you still are padding everyone else's stables and everyone else's roster. So from a purely business perspective, it makes absolute sense. Xbox, okay, fair enough. Buy things and keep them on your platform. Maybe have some crossovers, but surely you look after your own platform first. And if this is something, as Bibby was saying then, to use his words, is a potential system seller, PlayStation got to be the number one market, the number one property in the market because of system selling games, The Last of Us, God of Wars, and things like that. Surely Xbox, if they have some of those, it makes sense for them to keep hold of those games.
Yeah.
But then following on with Next Gen Base's comment is the difference with The Last of Us, etc., is that they've always been Sony games. And that is where the issue comes in, because we're talking purely business. Xbox do Xbox things. Nice. Okay, we buy it, we keep it, we play it. Jobs are good. But what about everyone that has the history? Bibby is playing Elder Scrolls Skyrim on his PS5 because that's where he's been playing it. So he's now got a PS5. He's just got himself the digital upgrades and all that jazz. He's played it on stream, and he will be playing it on stream again. But the next one, no, not that. And that's because Xbox have change things behind the scenes. Nothing that Bibby has done, nothing that means that Bibby shouldn't technically be able to play that game, but they've changed something behind the scenes. And that is, you get it with everything, be it sports, football, you get it with video games. Business and ongoings behind the scenes is at the core of everything. And it's a shame when business steps into the perceived reality. The reality is business is always there, but your perceived reality is that I'm playing games and these games are made for me to purely enjoy because I enjoy the games. No, really, the games are there to make money off, and you enjoying them is a happy coincidence.
You could argue that Elder Scrolls has predominantly and at the beginning was a Microsoft product in terms of it came out on MS-DOS, and then when Morrowind came out, that was an Xbox, the classic. Fucking stupid names of these consoles. The original OG Xbox. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's probably its official name, but it's stupid. I was gonna call it the Xbox One, but that's not the real name for it, is it?
What would you call the packaging that came in? The original OG Xbox box. I'm not confusing this anymore, by the way. I'm 100% trying to help.
Yeah, the Morrowind came out for that console. It didn't come out on the PlayStation. Obviously, it came out on PC as well. It was only when it became Oblivion that we ended up getting a copy of that over on the PlayStation 3. So it's not as if they don't have form for doing this originally. They have had exclusive Elder Scrolls games on Microsoft products that wasn't touched by PlayStation or Nintendo or anything else. So as much as this is a massive kick in the bollocks for people who have a PlayStation 5, at the end of the day, it's business, and there will be games that will be coming out on the PlayStation 5 that will not be playable in anything else. And I can guarantee you now there will be people that will be shouting about that from the top of mountains, that you can't have this. Spider-Man and Avengers. Like, people who play the Avengers can't play a Spider-Man because it's a PlayStation product. Like, there will always be lines in the sand. It's just annoying that this is one of the biggest games that is shareable on both consoles. That I imagine if they was to sell this, it would make more on PlayStation. So it's free money that they are literally giving away because they only want people to be able to come over and hope that they end up buying a subscription to Game Pass or buying a new console to play this game. It's annoying. It's
like you say, it's the system seller. So if they put that on a PlayStation, so the reason Game Pass exists is to bring people in. Game Pass gives you the library that you have on your PlayStation. I heard yesterday, I can't remember, I think it must have been kind of funny that Game Pass was originally set up as like a rental platform, and then they realized, actually it's got more potential. But Game Pass's biggest plus, whether it was intended to be or not, is the fact that if I'm on PlayStation, I've got all my games in my PlayStation library and stuff like that. So why would I get an Xbox? Because I have to rebuy them all again. Oh wait, they're all on Game Pass? Nice. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, but I still don't need to jump over because I've got all of these like God of Wars and things like that, plus the Call of Duties and stuff in my Game Pass or whatever. So I'll just stay on my PlayStation tab. Oh wait, you've got games that I can't get over there as well. Okay, and that's the thing is they are sacrificing massive amounts of profit potentially from the PlayStation platform as a way of building out their own platform. So this is the like the loss leader. This is the one. Okay, we'll lose money on this now, in the idea that we will recoup the money on more systems and more subscriptions going forward. What's up?
Imagine gambling with something like the Elder Scrolls or like that. I know I want to say it's the Elder Scrolls is niche, but it's genuinely not. There's a reason why it's still been going for 10 years. I.e., Skyrim is still being sold because everyone can buy it. You can buy it on everything. I'm the prime example of that. I'm the person that keeps on fueling this fucking Skyrim agenda, and I'm still enjoying playing it 10 years later. But it is deeply depressing that they're going to be making a massive gamble on a game like this. I mean, what's more hilarious is they own, what the people who made Deathloop,
Arcane.
Arcane. They own Arcane. That Deathloop is now only on PlayStation 5, and it's an Xbox studio that owns it. Xbox aren't getting that for another 8 months at this moment in time. Like, that's fucking hilarious. And PlayStation guys are laughing about that. But in potentially 3 years' time, when we get the Elder Scrolls 6, they'll be the first people to be crying about this as Xbox laugh at them. I can't believe they're going to be doing a gamble like this with the Elder Scrolls, because I think it deserves a lot more respect. But when it comes to making business decisions, this is the reason they've acquired it for £7 billion or whatever it was, is because they know at some point they're going to be making money on this, and you cannot argue with that logic. They will make money. However, I don't think they'll make it all back, because the biggest money spinner that they can have is by selling it on everything, and they don't have the ability to be able to do that. Or they don't want to do that. They do have the ability, they just don't fucking want to do that. So yeah, it's a difficult conversation to have, because someone will be butthurt. I know it sounds like I'm butthurt about this. I've not got a horse in this race. I can fucking play it wherever I want. I've got two choices to be able to play this now on platforms. But it is annoying. But at the end of the day, you choose a side unless you can afford both, which a lot of people can't. And you just have to make you. Just have to get on with it, I suppose.
It's like one of those situations. People that split and remarry elsewhere have baggage. They have history. They come probably with kids or things like that, and those kids then have their own situations. And there's no one size fits all approach to that. And that is this, but in video games. There is baggage in history, and that baggage in history can be great things. Like a child could be wonderful things. It's not all bad baggage, but that baggage then comes with, okay, if you're dealing with those kids, then those kids have obviously another family and the dad of that kid or the mum of that kid, whichever way it goes, and all their things that come with it. And that extended family in this is PlayStation users. They all, well, we have a hand in this, but we don't have a hand in this as well at the same time. So it's painful, and people will be hurt. People deserve to be hurt, but they don't have any claim of ownership on that. The only people that actually own these properties are Xbox, and they can do what they want with it. So whilst it's disappointing for a lot of people, only one person or one brand, one entity, which is obviously a big entity in this case, is Microsoft and Xbox, and they're the ones that get the say in it. So it's disappointing for me. My butthurtedness. I mean, I'm not an Elder Scrolls person, and I will have Xbox and PlayStation platforms at some point. And PC, so I can play there. But my butthurtedness comes from the lack of backbone. Let's put it that way. That's probably an extreme way of saying it. From the Xbox side of things, which it's not lack of backbone. It's good PR. What they said was, we're going to look at how we can make everyone enjoy the games the best dish. Something along those lines. Non-committal words for, we're buying this and we're keeping this to ourselves, which I understand. But for me, it was the lack of saying that from the off when they probably knew that's where they were going. Or maybe it's the fact that Game Pass and Xbox sales have been strong enough for them to feel like they could have just gone from the off. If Xbox was a bit weaker, maybe they'd have put it out on PlayStation. But because this generation Xbox has been pretty good, they've probably gone, now we're going to be. But it's the non-committal. If they'd have just gone, fuck you all, we bought these games for a reason. Deal with it. It's the fact that they've gone, we've bought these games and they're going to be for you, potentially, maybe, be honest. Probably, 100%, although we're keeping them to ourselves. And you're not going to get this point, but you still like Xbox, right? Yeah. And it was Xbox has, at the moment, the good guy Xbox image. Like PlayStation, the last gen had good guy PlayStation. Obviously, roles have flipped, and Xbox didn't want to tarnish that good guy Xbox image. So they said what was the right PR answer, as in like, it's probably going to be free to play for everyone across all the platforms and stuff, but now it's not. So that's my issue, but it's a business, so it's frustrating. It's a bit shit, but it's just one of those things. I did see, obviously. I did see a couple of things. Pause Radio, thank you very much for joining the stream, by the way. Thank you very much for your first comments in the stream. I did see one from Ads, which is absolutely an Ads comment. Fuck Bethesda, end of. Next Gen Base says, sorry to be blunt, mate, but grow up. And then says, if you're a PS5 owner and pissed off about this, save a tenner a month. By the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, you'll have saved enough to buy Series S. I mean, that's all well and good, but not everyone can afford to save a tenner a month, which I didn't realise, like, obviously, the differences in, obviously, world's funding. I remember having a conversation with someone from Latin America about PES 2015, somewhere like there, and he did overtime for 9 months to be able to afford one game for PES 2015. I might have been 2013. I don't know, somewhere in that sort of time thing. So that extra tenner a month to get the console to then be able to pay for the subscription is out of people's hands. So obviously, you know that, we all know that kind of thing. But it's that is what fuels a lot of people's discontent. But it's the baggage, it's the history. There is baggage there that there is no one size fits all in this situation. Yeah. You have to go with what kind of fits most or us the most, and then we go forward from there. Tito says, sorry, Graham, I wasn't paying attention then, was too busy deciding whether to play Forza Horizon 5, Halo, or Football Manager for free. Touche. Although those pound coins that you have to spend for your monthly subscription, which ones of those are free? Just checking. Bethesda were always releasing, and I've gone back. I have gone back. Bethesda were always releasing on everything, which is why this stings, and I get it. I mean, that's it though. That's the baggage. Yeah, but you used to love us, and now you don't. And it's like, it's not us, it's others. We still love you, but we can't. We would if we could. Then we get Callum. Good afternoon. Says happy birthday to David. At least you aren't doing the Chipmunk birthday song. I didn't want to break my voice mod. I'll do it for you when I'm next doing gameplay. Nice. I get that exclusives are a weird one in that they need to sell boxes. First-party studios are key to a successful console. I grew up not playing Nintendo 64 games because we couldn't afford two consoles. Sucked, but that's kind of how it was. Same. And then Pause Radio, with his first chat, he says, Sky messed up my enjoyment of F1. To which Next Gen Base says, yes, Sky BT is a great example. Used to love watching the Champions League on free TV, and now I can't unless I drop £60 a month. Annoyingly, it's how the world works. For sure. Tito says there's nothing wrong with capitalism, capitalism. That's what we'll call it. I'll never buy a Bethesda again, says Ads, in the most Ads way possible. And then Tito says I'll never buy an Insomniac game, Kappa. I understand the premise, but at the same time, surely as a business, once initial sales are out of the way, you want it on as many platforms as possible. I'd much rather a 12-month period of exclusivity so everyone can play it. I mean, that's where the conversations start to open up. Is like, if you have a game like that, surely the 12-month exclusivity is the best way to go. Deathloop is getting 12 months exclusivity on PlayStation and probably will be okay on PC. There was also some research that would say 12 months of sales is irrelevant to game launches. There's something like 75% of all game revenue is in the first 2 months. So if you release a game, 75% of your revenue will come in that 8-week period. Then in all the time afterwards, you'll probably get 25% if you look at it. It might be more heavily weighted towards it. Whereas Xbox Game Pass provides more money more consistently over a period of time. I think that was actually from. Actually, hopefully, I'm not taking the wind out of the sails of an article that we're about to jump into. Actually, that might have been something there. Anyway, hot take here. But if you can afford a PS5, you can probably afford to save £10 a month. Do that for 2 years. Boom, Series S. I mean, that's very generalizing. Some people can afford a PS5 because they've stretched. Doesn't necessarily mean that they can afford to save an extra £10 a month. Or even all access for $20.99 a month. $20.99 a month is a lot of money for a lot of people. I mean, obviously, thankfully, I'm in a privileged position where I can get both. But I know definitively that it is a hot take. It's not that definitive. There's a lot of people that can't do that. I feel like the Series S is the perfect answer to the people complaining about this. I hope Bethesda go bust. Any game that has an in-game purchases, the base game should always be free. Do you know what? I'm very in line with that way of thinking. I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all again, but I am very much. PUBG's a perfect example. It's all season passes. You can't play it unless you're online. There's cosmetics and skins, but yet they still charge you for that game. I mean, they want to try and make it free, and other things fucks it up. But that's a perfect example. It should be free. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. That 2-month figure is old now. It's shifting massively now. I know it's generalizing. Hence, yeah, exactly. Okay, this may be where I got. I read the 2-month figure again recently. This may be where I read it from, but we'll jump into our next article. And then we may just jump into this article and then the one after quickly and move the GeForce Now one to tomorrow, as soon as this has been quite a lengthy show. But this one is the next one. Xbox Game Pass is very, very sustainable right now, Spencer says. This is written by Chris Scullion at BGC. The Xbox boss shoots down myths. Hey. I know, nailing it. It's like 5 times in a row over the last week or so, I've done it without mistake. The Xbox boss shoots down myths that it's burning cash for a future goal. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has claimed that Xbox Game Pass is already, quote, sustainable in its current state and will only grow larger. Speaking to Axios' Stephen Totilo, Spencer was asked what his response was to people who say that Xbox Game Pass isn't sustainable because it means players are getting games like Starfield as part of a subscription instead of paying $60 for them. Quote, I mean, you could do the math on Game Pass, Spencer replied. I guess you don't know how many subscribers we have or how much each subscriber is paying, but you can make some fairly informed decisions and literally just do the math on what we think Game Pass could eventually be. You can do that on any part of the business. AB, nice. It should be any, I'm guessing. But absolutely, Game Pass is sustainable, end quote. Spencer added that the growth of Game Pass is part of Xbox's strategy, but it's not the company's sole focus. It's not the only thing that's growing in Xbox, he explained. It's not the only focus of the organization, and it, as a standalone thing, is very sustainable as it sits today. It's sustainable. I know there are a lot of people that like to write that we're burning cash right now for some future pot of gold at the end. No, Game Pass is very, very sustainable right now as it sits, and it continues to grow. Xbox Game Pass launched in June 2017. Okay, it wasn't this article that I took it from. But Xbox Game Pass, I don't know if you caught it, is very, very sustainable right now. Is it? This gives me nothing more other than sauce. Trust me, mate. because I know he's a very, very, very credible Xbox source. He is the Xbox boss, as it mentioned like 2 or 3 times within the article. But this is the Xbox CEO equivalent of just trust me, mate. It's like,
It's this is Fabrizio Romano, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's going out and he's got, I've got my sources. Fucking prick.
Sorry, I'm just distracted by my phone. But absolutely, Game Pass is sustainable. Okay, that's fine. I mean, you can do the math, he says. However, you don't know how many subscribers we have or what they're paying. So how can we do the math? That's literally the problem. We don't know how many you've got or what like how much you're spending out. It doesn't matter. You could have a bajillion subscribers, and they're all paying, I don't know, $1 billion each. But we don't know how much of that money you're actually keeping, how much goes to the studios. So we don't know whether it is actually profitable or sustainable. I hope to God it is, because this is the best Halo game and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculously good. But it doesn't change anything for me. I'm like, I love it. It sounds too good to be true. And if it is too good to be true, then it's not too good to be true. It doesn't sound sustainable. And he's gone, but it actually is sustainable. Yeah, but it doesn't sound it. It doesn't look it. You've said it is, and you are on the Xbox side of things. Clearly, you're going to say it's sustainable. It's like Xbox man says Xbox stuff works good, nice, but how? Why? So yeah, it's a non-story kind of thing for me. It doesn't change anything there. Morning. Good morning, West. Dropping at 10 a.m. ish. Love to see it. Oi, Savaloy, it's West. He.
Morning, West.
So yes, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has claimed that Xbox Game Pass is sustainable. Do you believe him, Bib?
I do, for the time being. I think that if there ever becomes a massive lull in whatever it is that they're going to be putting out, I'm thinking back now, before Forza, was there that much of a reason to be subscribed to Game Pass if you've managed to play through all of the games that were on there or ticked off the games that you were interested in? Probably not, and it probably was like that for a while. Me, I'm a sucker, so I end up keeping hold of my subscription because I play at least 2 things on there a month, which is more. That's easy money for me to be able to spend. You know what I mean? I get the Xbox, I get the ultimate version of it, so I can play it on my PC and on the Xbox if I want to play Back for Blood or whatever, and I want to stream it, so my PC isn't struggling. I've got the best of both worlds in doing that. But it's definitely value for money until it isn't. And again, that isn't a philosophical question statement to make. It's only worth whatever you can get out of it. And if there's no games for you to be able to get out of it, then they're not going to get you money. So it's up to them to keep on topping up that catalogue and making game backwards compatible that then can future be put onto the Game Pass. It's up to them to keep that topping up, because as soon as they lose you, it'll have to take something pretty big for you to be able to come back, whether or not that's a new Halo game, whether or not that's a new Forza, whether that is a new Gears of War or something of that ilk. It's difficult for them to be able to tempt you back in again if you've completed all of the, maybe not AAA games, maybe AA or just indie games that pop up on there every now and again, or a game that you've not played for 10 years. It's difficult, man. So yeah, hopefully it does stay sustainable. And there definitely is a price for everyone there, whether or not you just want the standard version or you want the ultimate version. There is a price that you can hit on them. Again, it's just they need to try and keep you in there, and I think that's the most difficult task that they've got for you.
I mean, that's always been a thing. It's interesting to have seen like that subscription platform come from like the Dollar Shave Club to the loot box, like loot crates that you'll get through the post every month, and they'll be like, oh, here's a t-shirt and here's a pop vinyl and here's a keyring and a whatever, and you'll see some stuff that'll get you super interested, but then after you've had everything you've got in your 12th, 13th, 14th loot crate box through the post, you're like, I'm just getting crap on games that I'm not interested in, or shitter versions of things that I've had before. I'm not interested anymore. I'm going to cancel my subscription. And the same problem is there for video games. Okay, I've played through the back catalogue on all the games that were already there, and all of the new releases. I had a shitload of time spare, so I've played through all the new releases. There's nothing that's come out that's interesting me. I can cancel Game Pass for 3 months until the next game comes out. And then if people cancel, do they reactivate in 3 months' time? So that's the issue, is getting people to stay in the service, which is a nice jumping off. Nice segue in there. Nice one, babe. You teed me well up for that then. Which is a nice segue into this article from Tom Ivan at VGC. Says, Xbox has announced over 70 new backward-compatible games, including the entire Max Payne and Fear franchises, Dead or Alive Ultimate and Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Microsoft has today added over 70 Xbox 360 and original Xbox games to the backward compatibility library for Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. New editions playable on its more modern consoles for the first time include the entire Max Payne and Fear franchises, plus Skate 2. Today's new backward compatible titles, the full list is published at the bottom of this page, include over 20 original Xbox games such as Dead or Alive Ultimate, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Star Wars Starfighter, and the Otogi franchise. Do you know what? I'm going to pause there. I don't need to go into any of the other comments below. You get the gist. There's 20 OG Xbox games, plus another 50, I imagine, doing maths, 360 genre games that are now backwards compatible on the Xbox One's consoles and Series X and S. Beautiful. Beautiful. So there you go. If you're an Xbox user and you like a little bit of dabbling with the past, you are looking for things to justify your Game Pass sponsorship. Maybe not sponsorship. Expenditure. Maybe not now. Maybe that's something that may be a problem in 12 months, 18 months' time. Well, don't worry. If you are looking for reasons to justify the spend, 70 new games is quite a good reason.
Is there anything on there that tickles your fancy? I can't believe 50 Cent Blood on the Sands there. I thought that they would have had to pay for that again because obviously it's 50 Cent and he would have licensed all his music in there. I don't know if they have to go through the same stages as what you do for a re-release to make it backwards compatible.
I mean, 50 Cent, didn't he go like bust or something? So he's probably like resold the libraries for like eight quid. Any money will do. It's fine. For me,
there's a lot of good games on there.
I mean, there's loads of names, but nothing that like I think, oh, do you know what? I would play that over the Horizon Zero Dawn that I've still not played through yet. So I kind of feel like I've got a list of a bunch of games that I kind of want to put more time into or finish off. Maybe I never played Red Dead Revolver, and I can see that one on that list. Backwards compatible. What is it? Really? Wow. Okay. I know it's not Red Dead Redemption, clearly, because there's a reason why people always talk about it.
I didn't like it at all.
But just for the completionist of the story, I'd like to go back and try it. But, yeah.
The one underneath is an abomination that should never, ever, ever, ever be touched.
Is this the one that you got the tattoo of? Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City?
Yes, it is, yeah. Going right across my ass. So every time I take a shit, it comes out. It says Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. What a terrible game. Bastard of a game. But the Fear games, mega. Like the Fear 3, Fear Files, I don't think I ever played that one. But Fear 1 and 2, fantastic games. The atmosphere in the first one was like I'd never seen before in a first-person shooter. That's terrifying. It's a really, really good game.
So yeah, if you're interested in Game Pass, 70 new games. Actually, yeah, they've been added to the backwards compatibility library. Are they actually in? Is this available through Game Pass? Because I didn't read through the entire. It says they're in the back compat library, but it didn't. Does it mention that?
Not all of them, no.
Oh, okay.
Not all of them, no. A lot of these will be, if you've got the disc, put the disc in, you'll be able to play it. Like, you can't play SmackDown versus Raw 2007. It doesn't let you if you play it on an Xbox One. You have to play it on a 360. So it's just adding that catalogue of the digital handshakes, I would say. But Sacred 2, if you haven't played that, play that. That's a fantastic game. Especially, it's even better in co-op. That's a fantastic game.
Did we need to rename this to the X Scoop? Pretty much, Xbox only news show. I mean, after what Halo was doing yesterday, it kind of needs it. Next Gen Base says last ever backwards compatibility update though. Oh really? Oh okay. I
did not know
that. Where's my skull? I don't get the reference. Explain it to me. Explain it to me like I'm a fifth grader, which ties nicely into your comment. Also, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is a banger, says Next Gen Base. Can't tell if serious. I'm not sure. Beans! I'll read. Says, afternoon, gents. Hope you well. Have you picked up the new Battlefield yet? Not yet. Not yet. Have you?
Oh.
Have you? I have watched some bits of it. The only thing with Battlefield is it's not a viewing game for me. I've tried to watch a bit of it on Twitch, and the same thing with Call of Duty. Warzone I can watch, but Call of Duty multiplayer, whilst me and Baby played that last week and I absolutely enjoyed it, I just can't enjoy watching it. Same thing. I watched some Halo last night, but didn't watch a lot because there's just no narrative in there. So Battlefield is one of those games that I will play with mates. I could probably stream, but I would understand if people didn't watch me as much as watching something where you would build a little bit more narrative like a PUBG, which is interesting. Certain games are great, but certain games aren't necessarily great to stream. Doctor, hi to all. Good afternoon. How are we doing, dude? Where My Skull is from Blood on the Sand. I've never played it, so there you go.
Have you played Blood on the Have you not played it?
No.
What was the other one called? Blood on the Sand. There's another 50 Bulletproof, that was it. Yeah. I'm just thinking out loud.
Michael says, do you take song requests? Ish. Depends what you're asking for. Bean says, yeah, I've picked it up. It's not the same as the old ones, though. I feel like they've changed a lot. Not sure if it's for the better, though. I mean, I heard like mixed stuff around the first one. Like the first beta, should I say. And then I've like almost to the point where people weren't looking forward to it after that. But after the release of the people that are playing it early access, then they've said it's kind of switched and brought it back. So interesting. That being said, Paul is incredible. Beans, you need to start streaming again so you can show me. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
100%.
Paul, yeah, I agree.
Next game is the absolute irony of calling a 50-cent game bulletproof.
Yeah.
Can you put Imposter by Young Nugget? As into actually play. I thought he was asking us to sing. Ish. We do play music, not through the scoop though. So yeah, we don't play music during this because this is a podcast that we put over to YouTube, and there's no point. You're here for the opinions and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, speaking about the opinions, we will put a pin in the opinions right now. We are done for today's show because we're over time. We do have another story that we didn't get a chance to jump into. That is the fact that Nvidia's GeForce Now has been quietly capping its founders' frame rates. That's going to be rolled over to tomorrow's show. So if you want to hear about that, then do feel free to join us tomorrow. We will give you a recap of the X Scoop, though. This is an Xbox-focused podcast. It wasn't intended to be, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles some days. Halo Infinite's multiplayer arrives a month early. So it's not supposed to be here next month, but it's until next month, but it's here now. So if you want to play some Halo Infinite multiplayer and you've got an Xbox or a PC, you can play Halo multiplayer right now. You can go download it, get some plays. Nice. Elsewhere, Elder Scrolls 6, speaking about Xbox and PC, they're the only places you're going to be able to play it. Apparently, it's not coming to PlayStation, which has triggered ads, and rightly so. From his side of things, obviously, naturally. It depends on how you guys feel about that. Do feel free to let us know across social medias, whether our social medias, whether you agree with that. And then the final two stories: Xbox Game Pass is sustainable, says Phil Spencer, as they add 70 new games to their back compat program. And West, thank you very much for throwing the host on us. You can have it back in a minute because we're going to go offline. So there. Before that, though, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add? Thank you for the West for the host, by the way.
Again, thank you very much to each and every single one of you that have joined us for this episode this afternoon. Wasn't this morning when we started it was this afternoon, so I very much appreciate that. But we still have 3 shows that you can help shape, so if you want to help shows there is 2 ways. I nearly got through it then as well. I was fucking buzzing. I was already celebrating in my head then. But yeah, you can help shape those shows by doing 2 things. First of all, find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. If you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, go into the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there for you, but all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Well, tomorrow we'll be going live at 10 a.m. Like we do each and every single weekday. We aim to go live at 10 a.m, but it could be 11, could be 12-ish. You never know. The best way to get notified is to drop a follow on the channel. That way you do get notified wherever the ish ends. So we'll be live at 10 a.m-ish tomorrow. Nice. Well, we get it. Understand? Nice. Do stick around, though. So even though we finished for today's stream, we are going to find one of our friends. We're going to drop a raid on a friend of Ice Cream Uploads just to help support their channel. Not only if you stick around for the raid do you support their channel, but you can support themselves with a few extra sprinkles. That's our channel points currency. You can see it down there in the bottom of the screen somewhere. You can spend those whilst you're here with us on our stream. And if you stick along for the raid, you will get extra channel points. Everyone wins. Good times. Nice. That's it, though. Have yourselves a fantastic day, you beautiful people. We appreciate you very, very much. And until next time, stay frosty.